Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pallavi Gupta from Ecurious Minds, and I welcome Ms. Swati Gupta, an interior designer from Mirage, to talk to our children today. Our children are reading Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone. While reading that, they started to design a different Hogwarts virtually. Now, to understand that a little more, we have invited you, Ms. Swati Gupta, to give your insight on your expertise to our children. And they will surely have some lovely questions to ask you too.
Yes, I would like to make it interactive rather than making it very formal. So I've been an interior designer or a stylist for last 10 years and over, and my company's name is Mirage. Is there anybody who has a knack for designing, not just interiors, maybe anything in designing? Anybody has a knack for it? Anybody interested in designing, be it fashion, be it clothes, be it jewelry, be it interiors? Is anybody interested? Do they have a inclination towards it? Okay. I didn't get your name, sweetie. Nirmaya.
Namya.
Namya. I couldn't read Namya. So Namya, what are you interested in? Am I not audible?
I'm interested in designing my room.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay. What comes into your mind when...
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So what I do is that I put posters and on Google, so I kind of search wallpapers to design my room.
Okay. Yeah, that's innovative. So you said wallpapers and posters into your room.
And I keep on changing. Yeah.
You keep changing. So in terms of color combinations, in terms of designing your room, that is something you're interested in. So you're talking about interiors only. Is there anybody else besides not just interiors, anything else? Oh, there comes Athar.
Hello, Miss. Miss, I have designed for a school project. In fact, I have designed a full organizer, and I went through the whole process from start to finish. So first, which is planning and creating, then in the end, putting a whole reflection and the process through and all.
I would love to see that. So you're talking about a project, like a school project? And what
Yes,
kind
Miss.
of... Sorry?
Miss, I was given the task to create an organizer for my client. So we all got imaginary clients, not actual clients.
Of course, I know that, but that is so innovative. So organizer in terms of the daily routines, you're talking about that organizer, right? A writing organizer?
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
I didn't get the name of the third girl.
Ma'am, Nicoletta.
Hi, Nicoletta. I love your name.
Thank you, ma'am.
So your interest, Nicoletta?
Ma'am, mine would be in clothes.
Oh, in clothes.
Yes.
If I would have been in interiors, I would have definitely been in clothes.
I actually keep drawing like dresses and designs of that. I love to do that.
You love to do that, huh? So of course, the basic thing, no matter what kind of designing that you're doing, I think what we really need to keep in mind is a lot of research, firstly, for anything, be it a jewelry designing, be it in fact, I've been into the line for 10 years. Till date, any project that comes my way, the first step that I need to do is the research, right? So I'm going to not talk about interiors and how that even Miss Pallavi has a small bit of a PPT to share as to how interiors work. Pallavi, you have that ready with you?
Yes. Do you want me to present it right away, or you want to talk to them?
No. I want to talk to them. I was just making sure if you have it ready with you.
Yes, I have that.
You have it ready. You have it. Okay. So the first thing which I meant is that, it's such a big responsibility when somebody gives you their house or their office to make, because that is something that they're going to be making memories in, something that they're going to be living in. So it's such a huge responsibility to do somebody's house. So what comes, so if I talk about steps. So first thing that we do in terms of doing interiors is we need to read their mind, because at the same time you need to read their mind as to what kind of thing are they looking at. So it has to be a collaboration for both. It has to be the client and that it has to be us. So we collaboratively do our designing, and step by step. Now, Palvi, I want you to just show them the PPT first so that, yeah.
Can you all see the PPT?
Ma'am, it's loading.
Is it visible now?
No.
No, ma'am, it's like still loading.
Let me start again. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a very small one and a very basic one made where Pallavi, आप first page करोगे एक बारी?
Sure, we can do that.
See, if you can look at these are absolutely bare pictures of the house before we start. That is the basic thing that, and of course, collaboratively, these are the pictures. Then I will have a small thing if you can find out that what really came out from these pictures. Palvi, आप एक बार ये raw side से next page दिखाओगे?
Sure.
So this is an ongoing site. Yes. These are again raw sites. These are ongoing sites, work in progress. That's the halfway through. That's again while in progress. Now, these are the final work of the pictures that we just shared, the halfway through pictures. Palvi, if you can go back and show them the ones that were like halfway through in progress so that they can see. Yeah, this one, the picture in this.
This one?
Mm-hmm. No, not this one, not this one. If this picture, the one just before, the one before this, Pallavi. Okay, this picture and the final picture.
Yeah.
Pallavi, can you show me the final pictures? Can you put two pictures side by side?
I'm going to screen share again. And this is what you want to see. This is what she's asking you to compare this picture with this picture.
Yes, the one downstairs, 11th one. So that was the raw picture, the one I showed you, the one in progress, and this is the complete look after the interiors was done. And just to share with you, the one in the middle is my house.
This one.
Yes.
This one is my house, yes. And the raw picture that we share where there was a man shown, yeah. This is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So the procedure that goes into it, I will not make it very lengthy. The procedure that really goes into it, of course, you know, you have to, the individual need of each client to be realized very thoughtfully. Collaborate research is very important. And बच्चे also एक बहुत important चीज, एक बहुत important document for our interiors is BOQ. Just note that down. That is something that you can, you know, read about. So BOQ for any kind of designing. आप अगर अथर्व की बात करो कि अथर्व wants to do something in designing, Nicolette or Niamat.
Namya.
What's her name? Namya. Any kind of designing needs a BOQ. So BOQ means bills of quantity. That is one document. It is so important for a person. So can anybody, मतलब किसी को idea भी है what is a BOQ?
Just try and look at the word bills of quantity. Yes, Athar?
Miss, maybe it's like taking the amount of materials you will be needing, or maybe like the area and perimeter of the place you're going to be
Absolutely,
decorating.
bang on, bang on. So that once that you finish doing the work, so it is so specifically specified that how much of a material, labor rate, and how much of the cost of the entire on a per square foot basis. Absolutely, he got it right, that it is the labor cost plus the material and plus the cost of the whole site on a square foot basis. It is such an important document, no matter what designing, what business you go into. This is one thing. Of course, I'm specifically talking about designing business. BOQ is one document that only adheres to business. और इसी में आपको पता चलेगा. Otherwise, it becomes a challenge. It becomes a challenge getting your money. It becomes a challenge if you don't have the BOQ ready. So this is one thing that you should always keep in mind. Athar, did you just guess it, or did you really?
Yes, I went through the process. Like I said, I went through the process. So in my last criteria, I was told to note down all the materials used and all the time it took, the whole process basically. So
What
I
do you
was able to.
think? Wow, what do you think in an interior, like, you know, we just shared the small PPT, you know, from the raw side to the ongoing side to the Palvi, if you could just have those pictures rolled on the left hand side of their screen, you know, just to.
Okay, now let's look at the PPT from the perspective of materials.
Hanji, what do you think could be the material that could have been mentioned in the BOQ? Nicolette and
Nicoletta and Namya.
And Namya, what do you think the material could have been? You know, how the BOQ, because I'm again talking about the BOQ again and again, is for first 4 years of my working in the interiors, I never really thought of a BOQ, and I thought, you know, things can work without a paperwork, but bache never ever get into a trouble of not making a BOQ and getting into a trouble of not getting your money back, right? So this is आपको क्या लगता है हमें क्या material चाहिए होगा in the BOQ? How would we be even making a BOQ?
Look at it. Look at the pictures. What do you see?
Yeah.
Observe. Use your mind. Let's put our thinking skills together.
If we know that.
Yes, please, Namya.
Sorry, ma'am, lights.
Lights.
Right. So just don't say lights. So you mean to say the number of lights will be mentioned there?
Ma'am, I'm not getting the point.
Okay, she's not getting
Miss,
the point.
I have something I can say.
Yes, Athar.
Miss, perhaps wood and the amount of wood and what type of wood. Because here you can see wood being used.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. The type
Nicoletta?
of wood. Nicolette?
Ma'am, the raw materials and their quantity.
So which raw material can you figure out?
Ma'am, wood and glass.
Is concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good, Athar.
Yes. He has the business acumen.
Yeah, that's right.
That's excellent to even know on the first hand, to even know that, you know, it is about the material, about the cost, and about the sizes. Of course, that is one thing. And so when you crack a client, after the BOQ, after everything, when you crack a client means when your client is now ready to give their work into your hand, you know, you have to adhere to the ideals of design, quality of material, workmanship. ये तीनों चीजें are so important. Otherwise, it'll make you one ordinary designer, right? Everybody in the new age that we are in, the millennial age that we are in, we have to be cut above the rest. So, you know, you need to have that extraordinary capacity to understand the client's choice, their taste in collaboration with yours. Because otherwise, agar unhi ke taste se banana, to why are we even here? right? So to have those client skills and to be a businessman, to be a designer, you need to have nag of all, right?
Anything that reminds you of what Miss Swati is saying with your ATL skills? Because just if you give a pause, think, reflect, and pause, what is she all talking about? Yes, Athar.
Miscommunication skills.
Absolutely. One of our ATL skills, communication. And anything that you can relate, because she's talking about the process time and again, that it's all about the process, it's about the relationship building, collaboration. Are these all words new to you? Namya?
Not,
Hmm.
miss, not necessarily.
So anything that you can relate with your own engagements, learning engagements that you do, your learning process. Yes, Nicoletta.
Ma'am, making inquiries for.
Yes, making inquiries. That is exactly what.
Inquiries, research, absolutely. Bilkul, bilkul theek,
This
making
is
inquiries.
this is what the business is all about, and this is what your education is also all about. So you guys are budding business people.
Yes.
Namya, anything you want to say?
Like ma'am said that she collaborates too. So I think collaboration is also part of what we did just recently. We worked as a team, so collaboration.
So
Miss,
would you like?
working with others.
Yes, would you like to show your project to her?
I would love to see his organizer or anybody who's done anything in
They've
terms of.
they've collaboratively done a project as they're reading about Harry Potter. The book is called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, as mentioned
Okay.
before. And here is their project. I'm
That's
going to
it.
I'm going to share your project. Till that time, you can talk about it, update her.
Hanji, bolo.
Yes, Namya, please carry on.
Yes, so ma'am, what our project is all about, I'll just brief you about it. We are, so our project is based on Hogwarts, but this time we're not gonna make the Hogwarts like it is in the movies, or it is described in the book. We are making Hogwarts in our own way, what we all think about Hogwarts. So we had different ideas, and we kind of merged all the ideas together and designed Hogwarts.
Let's see. Be the change to bring the change.
Nicole.
Can somebody read it out?
They'll present.
Ecurious Minds. Ecurious Minds is a global online platform for students from nursery till grade 9, all subjects. It helps aspiring students who want to get better each day through reflection and conceptual understanding. The inquiry-based classes tap on the innate curiosity of each student. It is created by an experienced IB/PYP teacher, Ms. Pallavi Gupta. Along with IB certification, she is also mindfulness practitioner, bringing all of her skills and passion under one roof. Ecurious Minds further offers a whole child approach, centered on language development, specializing in English as a second language. Through integrated inquiry-based reading projects, the program brings forth the attributes, skills, and dispositions that are necessary for developing an inquisitive mind and producing independent thinkers and inquirers.
Go ahead.
Introduction. It gives us immense pleasure to introduce our learning group. Ecurious Minds, headed by our honorable and loving teacher, Miss Pallavi Gupta, and our classmates Namya Basim, Athar Jared, and Nicolita Bedi. Today, we are glad to announce the completion of our first group task named Design Hogwarts. Some reasons why we chose this project are to imbibe the qualities of adjustment and cooperation, activate listening, effective speaker, and build self-confidence. Hone on social skills such as patience, empathy, communication, respect for others, and tolerance. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
This
Okay, Namya.
Ajay, please.
so it's my slide actually. This project was all about teamwork because teamwork makes the dream work. In this project, we had to design Hogwarts different from the book we're reading. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is the book we're actually reading currently. So we all had ideas but didn't agree on one. So we did work on our communication skills. We combined our ideas, planned, organized the work, and gave it a meaningful perspective. We had quite a lot of fun through our learning journey. We realized it is more about the process than the product. It is all about collaborating and respecting others. So this is our blueprint for us for the Hogwarts.
And this is the blueprint, and the blueprint has now this is a fair product actually. So I'll just tell you what's there in our Hogwarts. So this Hogwarts is on a mountain top, and there are many different ideas here which are merged. So there is a playground. So there are two grounds. One ground is for where we keep all the magical spells, ingredients, flowers, and one is where the students in Hogwarts play Snitch. So Snitch is basically a game where the students sit on the broomstick and they have to catch the ball and goal it. And you can see that there are some railroads, so they are there to enter Hogwarts.
Oh.
Using the broomstick. We actually wanted to do something different, so this is the first thing that stuck. So that is why.
That surely looks different.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Nicoletta?
Process. First, we did research. Choose Google and looked into existing images of Hogwarts. We observed the detailing of the images and tried to figure why the structure is designed that way. The first time we tried to create the school, it went well until we tried to color it. I had hardly any resources, but still went on. In the middle of the painting, my materials had finished and I had to scrap my draft. Then I made a second draft and when I was finished sketching, I asked my friends to color the same.
These are our reflections. So we developed self-management skills and communication skills as we all had to manage and complete our work. We had to meet up multiple times to complete the work. In fact, we also became balanced as we looked at each other's ideas and perspective. We divided the work and distributed it to each other.
Yay!
Thank you.
So all of this was done by you guys?
Independent work without my help.
Independent work, and you guys met up and you did the management skills, the communication skills. In fact, the teamwork was built up, right? to even, persevere the patience between each other, because somebody, you will have variant other ideas to collaborate and to blend in those ideas into one. Very good. I really liked it. How old are you guys? 12, 13?
Ma'am, I recently turned 12.
Yes, I'm also 12.
And Nicoletta?
Ma'am, I recently turned 11.
Oh, wow. You guys are doing an amazing job. Very nice. In fact, I'm very impressed with the communication skills. Of course, I don't know you guys enough, but then, my reflection towards your speaking is your communication skills are very good. And I think EQ is really helping you do so.
Thank you, Ms. Swati, for coming. And children, would you like to say something? Any questions that you want to have? Would you want to ask her?
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask something.
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I have seen that sometimes it's tough to fulfill your clients' wishes. So have you ever experienced it?
Of course, Bache. If the duration of making anybody's house is anything between 3 to 4 months, or it can even go farther ahead. So when your ideologies don't match, sometimes suppose your question is if two people don't agree on one similar thing, right? So if at times you have to give up, either you convince the client or else then you say, okay, it's fine. So it has to be a collaboration of two people, but ultimately it's their house, something that they need to live in. But 90% of the time, I don't face that problem, because 10 years of experience in the work, while they see my work only, then they go ahead with my work. So 90% of the problem is always solved when I say anything, and I very, you have to be convincing. Your work should talk. Your work should talk for you. So once it does, they get that kind of confidence in me. If they don't, then I like to listen to them.
So would like to paraphrase and say that knowledge is powerful.
Yeah.
So here comes your knowledge, your research, your communication. So exactly what we also do in our life, we build on our knowledge, and that's how you convince others.
It's how you convince. If you can't convince, confuse them.
No, don't do that. She's kidding. Any other question?
That's a skill.
Yes,
to convince
Nicoletta.
the person.
Ma'am, so my question is that did you face the problem that people say that it's same, we saw another house and the design is same, and if you say that if we do research and do it, but the research is also based on another house, so it's same, so how do we make a completely different one?
That's a brilliant question. And repeatedly, yes, I have done that in my life. I have constantly repeated the same things if in about a year I'm getting like 3 to 4 projects, and I realize that I've been repeating the same, because they come out, something that comes out really good, you want to keep repeating it, but then you get a jolt, and then you feel, okay, why are you repeating? But of course, bache, the research, your creativity. So once that you're in the work and you know what can be created. Miss Pallavi knows me a little bit personally also, in terms of my designing, in terms of my work. So I put my mind into it also. So I just don't copy my work, and I don't do just researches. So aesthetically, my mind works better than reference pictures. So it's just your creative mind, and it's your mind. You have control over your mind. But yes, this repetition, reference pictures, but by the end of it, the client wants what the picture looks like. By the way, that's the experience that I face, but they want ultimately what the picture looks like. So exactly, because they know they can look at it, right? But of course, we have
The way you all
Just
do
a
your
minute. I think
creative
my
writing,
internet is unstable.
you're given the same topic, you choose the same topic, but everybody comes out with their different writing patterns. So similarly.
But at the same time, like my designers who do, so there's this course called an AutoCAD designing. If anybody wants to get into interiors, it's called an AutoCAD designing. And then there's something called Revit 3D. So that 3D course is done once that people are, it's called a walk-in 3D. So the raw pictures that you saw, which Ms. Pallavi just showed you in the PPT, and what the picture looked like in the end. So on the first go, we can give you a 3D to even for you to see how your house will look like 6 months prior after the work is finished. So there are many softwares that have come up. Of course, it's an expense, it's a cost, but then you can see what the house will look like eventually before even starting the house. So that way, I think your question will be answered, that how the house can look like even beforehand it's even started.
So incorporation
I could have
of
shown
technology.
those. Yes, that's the technology. I should have shared some pictures of the 3D also. You will be absolutely surprised. You won't be able to get to know that whether it's a picture or it's an actual house. We do 3Ds as well.
Yes, Namya.
Hanji bache.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask 2 questions. So, ma'am, first is that what have you learned in your 10-year experience of interior designing? And the second one is that what have you designed? Houses, offices, what else you have designed?
See, baby, in these 10 years, of course, I have done multiples and layers and multiples of work. But now I'm getting myself into commercials only, because house is something, it takes the longest time, and it has a lot of problems attached to it, the house especially, because when you're doing somebody's house, so there will be at least 4 to 5 members staying in that house. So you need to take approvals from each one of them. If it'll be Nicolette's room, she will have her ideas, her creativity, her color combinations in mind. If I'll be doing a third room also in the same house for a sibling, they will have, so it becomes very lengthy. So in these 10 years of my working, I have come down to the fact that I want to, now I'm doing only commercials. Do you understand commercials? Means shops, salons, cafes, restaurants. So I am getting down to that. And what was your next question, Namya?
Namya.
Ma'am, what have you learned in your 10-year experience?
What have I learned in my 10 years of experience? That your communication skills have to be the utmost. You should have the convincing power to convince the client, and you should be, I think, super smart and super presentable giving your presentations.
So exactly what we are down to our 5 approaches to learning skills. Your social skills, research skill, communication skill, self-management skill, thinking skills.
The qualification should shine out. So I'm educated and qualified for being an interior designer. So it always has to shine out. No matter the person will be having a more experience than I have, but still you have to shine out with your skills.
So how important are the skills, guys?
Yes, the most.
And we all focus on that, don't we? Anything you would like to share as your takeaway? What is your takeaway from this interactive meet? Nicoletta, what will you take home today?
Ma'am, that we have to be really hardworking and we have to be creative in life.
Great. Yes, Namya?
And communication is very important.
Yes. Yes, Namya?
Ma'am, I think that whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we have to do, we have to use our skills, and we have to be very careful, like ma'am said.
Yes, because ultimately it's the money which is the driving force, And with the BOQ I talked to you about, no matter what business you guys get into, you need to do a little bit of research on that. Athar has something to say. He's
Yes.
been raising his hand.
Athar?
Yes, Miss, I'd like to say, to do something, you always need to be talented and you need to be hardworking.
Absolutely. That's a reflection that he has. Very good. Yes.
And your talent can come from your passion also.
Yes.
Remember the passion projects? Great. So thank you for coming over, Ms. Swati, taking out your precious time and interacting with our Ecurious Mind.
Beautiful kids of Curious Mind. Thank you, Miss Pallavi.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Thank you.
remember you guys. You guys are super intelligent. You already have the skills. Just follow your passion, whatever the dreams that you have. Then none of you that I think can't achieve. 3 of you are smart enough. Very good. I'm impressed with 3 of you.
Thank you, Ms. Swati. You'll be able to find our pictures and the video on Ecurious Mind platforms on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank you,
ma'am.